I go back 5 generations in the dairy business. I can tell you a story about what Grandpa told me how they got in dairy business. He said, actually, my grandpa worked at a shipyard in New Orleans, because that's where we're from. We're from, on the West Bank. He went to work and brought his milk with him every day. He had his little lunch box and his little pint of milk. And a friend of his said, "Think you could bring me a pint of milk tomorrow?" He said, "I'd like fresh milk." I said, "Sure." And Grandpa said he brought a pint of milk, and that guy told his friend, "Look, William has some good milk. He might sell you some." Grandpa said, before long, Grandpa William said, "I'm gonna have to buy another cow. I'm selling more milk than one cow's given at the shipyard." Then he had to buy another cow, and then another one. And he said before long they had a milk route, and they were delivering milk on the West Bank. And in the Depression, I asked Grandpa, I said, "Grandpa, how was the Depression for y'all?" And he said, "The Depression wasn't bad." He said, "We were so poor, we didn't really know there was a Depression." He said, "But we saw a lot of people in the city that couldn't grow their own food. They had hard times." And he said, I heard my mama and daddy talking one night, and my great-grandmother's name was Alice. He said, Alice asked Philip Charles, "What are we gonna do with the milk? People aren't paying their bills." And he said, "Well, we're not gonna dump it down the drain, but we'll give it to them. Cows have to be milked every day, twice a day." And Grandpa said for years, they delivered milk and just didn't get paid for it. And he said after the Depression, for years and years, they would get a letter in. They might have $1 or 50 cents or some change in it saying thanks. That was all we had to eat, at that time. I said, "Grandpa, when you die, what do you think's gonna happen?" And he told me the story about the Depression and feeding, the people. And he said, "When I die, I want to be where my parents are, because they were good people." He said they helped people. That's where I want to be. And I said, "Well, I think that's where I want to be too." So it gives me a lot of pride to be in dairy business, knowing it goes back that far in my blood. I'm Philip Verbenne, a 5th-generation dairy farmer from Louisiana, and I am dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.